Hello students, in this video I will tell you how to find the sum of numbers in a pattern. So if the numbers in a pattern are the first n natural numbers, so remember the word first is very important. You cannot apply it for any set of natural numbers. It should be the first n natural numbers. For example, find the sum of first 100 natural numbers, find the sum of first 30 natural numbers, find the sum of first 25 natural numbers. So first n will be replaced by a number in your question. So first 30, first 20, first 100, then only you can use these formulas. So everywhere that word first is important. So to find the sum of first n natural numbers, so if the series is having first n natural numbers, to find the sum you will have to apply this formula n into n plus 1 by 2. If the series is having first n odd numbers, so to find the sum of first n odd numbers, the formula used will be n square. And if you are given a pattern, numerically or geometrically, you will have to use this formula to find the first n numbers in that pattern, and that pattern should be linear also. So the formula for that is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Here I have a question to find the sum of first 18 odd numbers, find the sum of first 35 natural numbers, and find the sum of first 20 numbers in the series. Now the question number A is first 18 odd numbers. So we have first 18 odd numbers. So odd numbers corresponds to this formula. And remember, always the word first should be there. So the first 18 odd numbers. So n is replaced by 18. So the formula for odd numbers is n square. So the solution for A, sum of, so this is the way we will write, sum of first 18, and the question corresponds to odd numbers. So first 18 odd numbers, the formula is n square, where your n, first 18, so your n is 18 square, which is 324. So this is your answer for question number A. So we check whether first, the word first is there, and first n, so n is replaced by 18. So first n odd numbers, first n odd numbers, so n is replaced by 18. So the answer is 18 square, which is 324. Now coming to question number B, here the question says find the sum of first 35 natural numbers. So sum of first 35. What type of numbers they are? They are natural numbers. So look into the formula for natural numbers. First n natural numbers. So n is replaced by 35. So instead of n we will write 35 into 35 plus 1 by 2. So the formula used for natural numbers is first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2, where the value of n is 35. First n natural numbers. So n here is 35. So 35 into 35 plus 1 by 2, which is 35 into 36 by 2. 35 into 36 is 1260 divided by 2. The value of 1260 by 2 is 630. So the sum of first 35 natural numbers is 630. And another thing is, natural numbers are also linear. Natural numbers form a linear pattern. Odd numbers also form a linear pattern. You can always apply this formula to find these two. But to find in an easy way, to find in a quicker way, these formulas will help you. That is why we have given separate formulas to find natural numbers and odd numbers. So if the question is find the sum of first 11 odd numbers, so you can immediately, instead of finding A, D and all, you can directly use this formula. So first 11 odd numbers means 11 square, which is 121. Otherwise you will have to write the pattern of first 11 odd numbers, and then instead of n here you will put 11, find A, find D, and then apply this formula. These two ways are easy to find the sum of first n odd numbers and first n natural numbers if it is mentioned specifically like this. So here it was mentioned first 18 odd numbers, immediately we found this formula and we got the answer. First 35 natural numbers, we use this formula which corresponds to natural numbers, and we replaced n using 35 and found the answer. Now the question is find the sum of first 20 numbers in the series. So we are given a pattern. We are given the first 4 numbers, but we are asked to find the first 20 numbers in the series. Do we know the 20th term? No. So to find the sum of first n numbers in a linear pattern. Is this a linear pattern? 1 plus 7, 18, 8, 8 plus 7, 15, 15 plus 7, 22. So the difference between two consecutive terms is 7. 8 minus 1, 7, 22 minus 15, 7. So this is a linear pattern. So we are given a pattern and we are asked to find the first 20 numbers. So n will be replaced by 20. And we have A as 1 and D as, the difference is 7. So we will use this formula because it is for the sum of first n numbers in a linear pattern. N is 20 in the linear pattern is given. So we will use this formula. So this is the pattern given to us. We are asked to find the sum of first 20 numbers in the pattern. So the formula for this is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, where n is equal to 20, first 20 numbers. So n is 20. A is the first number, again n is 20 and d is the difference. So we will apply this formula. A is equal to the first number. What is the first number here? 1 is the first number. And what is the D? The difference between any two terms. So 7, 7, 7. The difference is uniform, which is a linear pattern. So the difference is 7. So here I will replace n by 20. 20 by 2 into 2 into A. Into A. The value of A is 1. Plus n, which is 20 minus 1 into d, 7. So 20 by 2 is 10. 2 ones are 2. We will always do the multiplication first. 2 ones are 2 plus 20 minus 1. We will solve the bracket. 19 into 7. 10, 2 plus we will remove the bracket by multiplying it with 7. So 2 plus 133 gives us 135. 135 into 10 is 1350. So the sum of the first 20 terms of this series is 1350. So in this video we learned how to find the sum of first n natural numbers, first n odd numbers and first n numbers in a linear pattern. So these are the three different formulas which you have to study for finding out the sum of the numbers in a pattern. If your pattern is natural numbers, use this. If your pattern is odd numbers, use this. If there is no specific pattern but it is a linear pattern, you go for this formula. Now I will tell you a special case where you have to find the sum of numbers in a linear pattern. So here I have a pattern. I am just asked to find the sum of 6, 12, 18 up to 240. So I have to find the sum of these numbers. So in between there are numbers. We don't know how many numbers are there. So the difference between the previous problem we applied this formula where it was mentioned the sum of first 20 numbers. Understand the difference between these two questions. They are asking for the sum of first 20 numbers. They have mentioned that you have to find the sum of first 20 numbers. So your n became 20. First n numbers. So your n is 20 here. And they gave you a pattern where you could find A and D. So you use this formula where you have A from the pattern given, D also from the pattern given, and n from the question. Now here again this has a difference of 6. So the next number will also have a difference of 6. So now we know that this is a linear pattern. So again we will use this formula Sn is equal to the same formula which we used here. Alright. So 2a plus n minus 1 into D. So be very particular about writing the formula, because if D goes outside the bracket it will give you a different answer. So follow the correct formula. Now we know that A is the first number. So A is 6, and we know that D is the difference between two consecutive numbers. So the difference here, the uniform difference here is 6. So A is also 6 because it is the first number, first term of the pattern, and D is also 6 because it is having a difference of 6. But what about n? We are not given find the sum of first 20 or first 30 like this question. We do not know our n. But there is something which is there in this question which was not there in the previous question. In the previous question we didn't have the last term. We used n from here. N was mentioned in the question and we didn't have the last term. So here n is not mentioned in the question, but we have the last term here. So how will we find n? So we know that the last term is 240. So we have to find the value of n here. Okay. So we have to find the position of 240. 6 is the first term, 12 is the second term. The position of 18 is 3. The position of 6 is 1. First term, second term, third term. This is the nth term. We don't know n. So we will apply Tn formula and equate it to the last term. This is first term, this is second term, and this is third term. And this is the nth term. We have to find the position, the number which will come here. Maybe it is 20th or 30th, we don't know. So we have to find n. So we will equate it to Tn. So what is the formula for Tn which we studied in the previous video? A plus n minus 1 into D is 240. Now we know A is 6. We don't know n. We are going to find that. D is also 6, 240. And 6 plus, we are simplifying the bracket, 6n minus 6. So 6 into n is 6n and 6 into minus 1 plus into minus is minus, 6 into 1 is 6 is equal to 240. 6 and minus 6 leaves the place because plus and minus gets cancelled. So 6n becomes equal to 240. Therefore n is equal to 240 by 6, which is equal to 40. 6 goes here, multiplication goes to the other side, it becomes division. So the value of n is 40. Now we got the value of n. What is the value of n now? It is 40. Alright. So we got A 6, D 6 and n 40. Now it is easy for us to apply this formula. Now Sn is equal to n by 2, which is 40 by 2 into 2a. What is a? A is 6 here plus n minus 1. N is 40 minus 1 into d. D is also 6. Now 40 by 2 is 20. 12 plus 39 into 6. Now 20, 12 plus 39 into 6. 234. So 20 into 246. So you are going to multiply 246 with 20. So 12, 9, 2 2s are 4. So the answer is 4920. So understand the difference between this problem and the problem given here. Here they mentioned that you have to find the sum of first 20 terms. The n was mentioned in the question. So you directly applied the formula. Your n is 20. But in this case, your n was not mentioned. Only a series of number is given and we were asked to find the sum of this series. So one thing which is given extra over here is the last term. So the last term tells us how many numbers are there in this series. So you have to find the n value here. This is the nth term. We don't know n. So we are going to find the position of 240 in this series. That will give us how many numbers are there in this series. So to find n, we will equate 240 to Tn, apply that formula which we learned in the previous video and find out the value of n. Now we have a, d and n as 40. You will apply it in this formula and substitute all n, a and d values and calculate and find your final result. So it is very easy. Check whether n is given in the question. If n is given, follow. You can directly use the formula. If n is not given, find n using Tn formula by equating the last term to Tn and then find the sum by applying the same formula which you used in the previous problem. So this is the answer for this. Thank you.